What's up, nerds? Welcome to Nintendo Power Block for August 22nd, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Derrigan. Alongside me, as always, that retro code, Eddie V.
Even at 38, I still hop through the doors as Mega Man.
What? Like
when you're Mega Man, you hop through the doors when you're about to go into the boss. I still do that at this age. At my age. Hi, everybody.
That was surprising. Also joining us, the wise Wisconsinite, Jesse Douglas.
Getting the band back together.
Yeah! Is this the first show we've all done together since I took the break?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
No.
We did
it was,
one
2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I just missed last week.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I was camping and glamping, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Glamping. Is that where you get one of them little fancy tents and you just like, you got your TV and everything in there?
Well, see, we didn't have water or electricity, but because like the place that we were at like had a whole bunch of fun things like to do. It had like an arcade and all this kind of stuff for the kids to keep the kids happy. But
You had to pay for the arcades, or it was free?
yeah, you had to pay for stuff.
Nice.
It was funny. They had a grabber machine or whatever, and literally on the first try I won something, and then like two more tries later I won something again.
Nice. Nice.
Yes.
Well, if you guys didn't know, this is Nerds Gone Rogue's Nintendo show. You can find it every Tuesday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time on your podcast service of choice, or on ngrradio.com, or on our YouTube page at youtube.com/ngrradio. You can follow us on Twitter at ngrpowblock. You can email us questions at nintendopowblock@gmail.com. And we've got more exciting news coming your way. Remember to check out our Ninja Showcase, Season 1. It's all on demand. You can check it out. Also, Season 3 of Pod and Play starts on September 1st. So, that is only a mere 2 weeks away. Very hyped for that.
Yes.
Very, very hyped. So, anyways, with that out of the way, Ed, what have you been playing?
So, I'm going to start with Xbox One. Been digging in Mafia 3, getting further into that. Like, really enjoying it, doing all the collections, killing folks and mobs, and my goal is to get to the KKK and destroy them, because that made me want to buy the game. But I'm actually enjoying it. Played a little bit more Cuphead, getting further into that, had some fun with that. For PS4, started Titanfall 2. Trying to get all the pilot helmets on that one and do some more trophy stuff with that. But Nintendo Switch, I literally been digging in. My copy of Dead Cells just came in, and I was happy. And I played it for 15 minutes, and I had to stop because I had to go to work. Really enjoying this game. Still trying to figure out where to go and what to do, because I keep dying and stuff, and I don't know if I'm getting stronger or anything.
I mean, I think the point is to keep dying so you go back through and collect stuff, but like,
yeah,
to your point, like, I don't know if I'm playing it right. Like, I'm having a lot of fun like traversing through the dungeon stuff, which by the way, I've been playing Dead Cells 2. I think we all have, and actually by the time you see this, you'll be able to check out Jesse's Dead Cells Let's Play. He's been playing on Xbox One, but like, I everything about this game is a game that I hate. I hate roguelikes because I don't like the feeling of not making progress, right? So, like, I don't like roguelikes, but I feel like the combat loop is fun enough in this game. And, like, the way it feels, and, like, I found the blueprint for the whip, for that targeting whip that, like, targets your enemies and stuff. So, like, that's been really useful. But, like, I still don't know if I'm playing the game right. And I've probably put about 2 hours in already. And, like, my first run was only, like, 3 minutes? But I've gotten better at the game, and my last run I did was probably lasted about 20 minutes earlier today, and I just had to put it down because of the baby and stuff. But I like you said it. I don't know if I'm playing this game right.
Yeah, and for me, it's because I've been playing Wizards of Legends 2. That game and Dead Cells are almost kind of the same. It's just that you go do these dungeons to get these powers, and when you get enough crystals in Wizards of Legends, when you die, you could go and buy more, powers and stuff, and expand your roster. And I kind of feel like that's the same thing in Dead Cells, but it's not telling me what stuff do I get to keep and what stuff I don't, because I'm just like I feel like, do I only keep stuff when I buy it with sales, or is everything that I get I just completely lose if I die? And it kind of doesn't explain itself, and I can understand that, but I'm just like, this is so weird on how it, but I'm having fun with it. Like I said, I only played it like for about 15 minutes, and I'm probably gonna be jumping in a couple more days with it, because I do still gotta go back to Horizon Zero Dawn and get the platinum for that, and then I gotta start on Bloodborne for PS4. But I've just been playing like Dead Cells, Octopath Traveler, Graceful Explosion Machine, Wizards of Legends.
Still playing that Graceful Explosion Machine, huh?
Trying to get my grades up, trying to get my D's to B's, trying to doing that. Downloaded the demo to Yoko Islands Express.
That's that pinball Metroid game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is a must-have.
Yeah, I still need to get that too. I've been wanting to get that since it came out.
Yeah,
I just keep on forgetting to check it out.
Play the demo, and if you like the demo, it's a game to get. What I like about this game is that the pinball is on point, and like the physics and stuff, everything works. So you're not stuck in one space for like a long time trying to get out. No, it's like you match it up, trying to get your collectibles and stuff, and bam, you on to the next part. Like everything fits in there, and I like the artwork. The animation looks phenomenal, really fantastic, and I like Yoku or Yuka or whatever his name is, like the little ant pushing the ball and stuff. like it works. It's so cool, and it's so funny. I don't know how long the game is, but like only played the demo. But I'm definitely going to end up buying this game. Like I still got to go buy Okami. I did get a chance to download the Monster Hunter demo, the Monster Hunter Generations demo, but I want to download it because I want to get a feel for it.
I downloaded it. I probably played it for like an hour today. I actually played a lot of games today because the baby literally slept all day. I don't think she feels good. So like, if she wasn't like sleeping, she was crying. It was like, but she slept more today than she has in the last week. So like, I don't know. I feel like she doesn't feel well. But I downloaded the Monster Hunter demo. I actually like just like running around and kind of like feeling my way through it. I wish I knew what the buttons were, because like I know it's not my turn. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
But if I figured out the buttons and stuff, like I did that. There's 3 separate parts of the demo. None of your progress carries over because it's just 3 kind of hunts that they want you to try out before you buy it, right? And like if you've played the 3DS version, that you can transfer your progress to this game, so that's pretty nice. But I'm just running around that world and like collecting stuff off the ground and finding these big monsters to take down is like, I was thoroughly surprised how much I was enjoying this game, because remember in like January or February, Ed, we were playing Monster Hunter World and neither of us could get into it, like just couldn't get into it. And this one like felt more at home on Switch for some reason. And like I've never really been a big Monster Hunter guy, but like it felt really fun just to run around and fight some stuff that was chasing you. And I got to the big monster fight and like I didn't really know what I was doing, so I died, but like it felt fun, like it felt good. Like I really want to give it a shot when it comes out, you know, because I really liked it. It really kind of gave me as like a Breath of the Wild type feel, but like more intense, if that makes sense. Like if all the bokoblins in Zelda were like giant brontosaurus monsters or like little lizard things that run around on the ground.
And it looks fast. It looks faster than Monster Hunter World for some reason.
Well, it depends on what weapons you're using. Like some of the smaller weapons, they're faster. Like, and Monster Hunter fans, please correct us in the comments on the YouTube video or email us or whatever. But like, I think some of the weapons feel faster because they're meant to feel faster, and some of the bigger weapons are meant to feel heavy and clunky. And it's kind of got that Dark Souls feel where like when you swing, you're locked into that swing. Like you're not getting out of it, right? There's no like cancel animation or dodge. I mean, you can dodge, but you have to wait till your animation for your swing is over.
Yes.
So, I mean, what I played of it was really fun. I want to get into it and see like, hey, I need to do this or I need to do that. You know what I mean? Like, what do I need to do to upgrade to this? Am I going to get some cool Nintendo-themed costumes for collecting certain things the way that PlayStation did with Horizon and Devil May Cry? So,
that's what, when I was looking at Generations, I'm just like, goodness, this looks like Devil May Cry.
It does not play like Devil May Cry.
I know that, but I think when I was looking at the trailer, I was just like, goodness, DMC would just fit on the system. Yeah. Just looking at how fast the combat was, I guess, like you said, the weapons that person was using, just in the demo, I was just like, dang, DMC would fit on this, on how fast it is.
Yeah,
it would just work.
Well, it would be basically a alternative to Bayonetta, because like, you know, Bayonetta and that DMC are, you know, very similar.
Yeah. So, but that's pretty much what I've been playing. Yeah, I still like I gotta pick up Okami. I still gotta pick up when Monster Hunter Generations drop. I gotta pick that up. Then there's some other games that came out this month that I still need to pick up. But yeah, that's what I've been playing. So,
nice. Jesse, what about you? What have you been playing besides our awful attempt of trying to play PUBG earlier?
Yeah, on Xbox, I just we've been playing some PUBG, some Rainbow Six Siege, and I've been playing actually Dead Cells I got it for Xbox just because I eventually want to get it for both, but I wanted to get it on there first, and I use my Xbox to stream, so like, you know, that's kind of a reason why I still like want to use my Xbox as my main system, is just for streaming purposes. And I'm enjoying it. The Arsenal X plays that I did of it, I went into purposely went into this game like just ignoring any talk about it. And just like I literally knew nothing about this game.
Only thing people talking about it is just how good it is. So,
Well, yeah. Well,
I think you probably been avoiding like videos because people been posting videos.
Yeah.
But talking wise about it, everybody just be like it's been really good and probably talking about where their progress is at.
Yeah, and Moose has been giving some pointers about certain things and stuff that he's been posting. So
yeah,
I mean, it doesn't matter though, because unless you're playing it, that what people are saying doesn't really make any sense anyway. So that's one nice thing about it. Like, until you're actually in the game, what people talk about doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people are also getting their physicals now, like their physical copies.
Yeah, and so like with that game, like when I did the play thing, I literally had no idea what I was doing, and like now I've finally figured some basic things out. Like, because I thought like you had to use the cells, just because it being a rogue type game. I thought. I didn't know if putting your cells into buying stuff would keep it, or if you'd lose that, like when you die, that progress. I wasn't quite sure. I don't really play those kind of games that much. Like Rogue Legacy is really the only rogue type game that I've played like somewhat regularly, and I just really haven't played those type of games, and I really honestly haven't played many Metroidvania games, to be honest, either. So like both genres that it kind of touches on, I'm not very familiar with, Yeah. So
to be fair, the only Metroidvania style games I've ever played are Metroid games.
Yeah,
and like I'm trying to play Hollow Knight right now, but I mean, sorry, continue. I just
None of you play Symphony of the Night?
No, I've never played Symphony of the Night.
Wow.
I've never played a Castlevania game.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
Wait, which one is Symphony of the Night?
The PS1.
PS1
one.
Okay, no,
the one that everybody says is the best Metroidvania game of all time.
Okay. No, yeah, I've only I've played the Castlevania, a couple of the Castlevania games back in the day.
Oh,
honestly, I'd say like the only thing similar or close to like kind of Dead Cells that I've played, other than that Rogue Legacy and and obviously like the Castlevania games, is like the Prince of Persia games.
Ooh,
because the Prince of Persia game for Xbox, like that original, that earlier one, like when I first started playing Dead Cells, it kind of reminded me of that.
The first one, the first trilogy of Prince of Persia, or
the one that's like it's a side scrolling, like really like basic,
the old school one. Okay,
yeah. I think maybe it was a 360 game. I don't remember now.
It might have been a remake of the original one.
Yeah,
I have Prince of Persia games. I can't tell which is which.
Yeah, like it kind of, Dead Cells kind of reminded me a little bit of that game almost, like just in the way you like the jumping and the rolling and stuff like that. It's somewhat similar, but yeah. So like I played the Dead Cells for the Arsenal X plays, and then I played a little bit more after that and kind of learned a little bit more. And yeah, I'm kind of with Corey, I just like having a hard time kind of understanding even like some of the plot points and things like that. Like it's just like, I don't know, like I guess I don't really know what your purpose is. But
the trailer, like the cartoon trailer, kind of explains it. Okay. So,
and I did watch it, but I guess I must have just like blanked on it or whatever, because like I don't understand like why you're like looking through like stuff and all that, like the whole investigating aspect of it. But maybe I'll have to just go back and watch it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that for Xbox for the most part, like I played some Far Cry 5 and some
we had a good conversation.
Yeah. And some Horizon 3, and dude, that game is just so good. It's just so much fun, and the music selection in that game is awesome. Like the sounds, and like the just everything about it, I really like.
Yeah, I gotta play it some more.
Yeah, because it's like I know Ed, like you had issues with the controlling and stuff, but like it's definitely something like a part of it that just you have to get used to. Because it was just it was bad at first because it just like if you're used to playing more arcadey style like racing games where like the controlling is just way too unrealistic. It's just like super responsive.
For me, it's most of the handling. Because like I was telling you, it's the turns and stuff. And even if there's no way to upgrade your car to make your turns better, to make the handling better.
There is eventually.
And the thing about it is
at the start.
Right, and the thing about it is, I had upgrade my truck. I upgraded like to the fullest thing because I had enough money to upgrade it, and it's still handling bad. Yeah. And it's kind of weird that Forza, like the controls of Forza Horizon with the handling with the turn, just doesn't feel right. But if I did Burnout Takedown, it does feel right.
Yeah,
even though they're both kind of different.
Yeah, it's that's more of an arcade style. Like, like I said, it's gonna be like over responsive and like make it, because like those type of games, those more arcadey ones aren't about like trying to feel real. It's like more just like like worrying about everything else and make the driving aspect of it a little bit easier for anyone to pick up. Whereas like the Forza games are more of like a driving simulator.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely, you can't, like if you're really good at like a Need for Speed or or something like that, and then it just doesn't translate over because it's just so much. There's so much more complexity to the Forza games that you got to kind of tweak your cars. And I'm not far enough to really have much that I can upgrade on the cars. Like it doesn't even give you any of those options yet of any, like I mean there's like minor things like tires and stuff like that, like how much air you put in them and stuff like that. But I think you have to get really deep into the game before you start getting any real ability to change out like your suspension and stuff like that, like the more key things to control. So, but like, and then as far as Switch goes, I played the Mario Tennis a couple of days ago. I still like going back to that every once in a while. Like honestly, like I like Mario Tennis games, but I'm like Corey, I'm more of a fan of like the Mario Golf games or the Mario Party games. Like when it comes to that kind of stuff, the multiplayer style games. So I'm just waiting for those. But I do like Mario Tennis though. It's fun. I've been playing the story mode. It's weird, but it's really not that bad. And then I played a little Golf Story again the other day, just for a little bit. I actually didn't play it too much. And then Adventure Pals is like my main game that I've kind of been playing on my Switch. And I really enjoy that game. It's so much fun, and it's just funny, and it's a good game. Definitely something to get if you don't have it yet. And then I also played a little Infinite Mini Golf. I always like playing mini golf games. I've got like I think 2 different kinds of mini golf games on my Xbox.
Mini golf.
One on my Switch, and I think I got like two of them on my 360. Like I always get a mini golf game. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Nice. Well, I guess it's my turn. I've been playing a lot of Dead Cells, like we mentioned earlier. Like I don't really know if I'm playing that game right, but it's all right. I'll figure it out. I've been putting a lot of time into Puyo Puyo Tetris, but
Yes.
just the Tetris portion. I looked at my play. What?
Did you switch from the Game Boy Tetris to this Tetris?
Yeah, I was playing the Game Boy Tetris for a while.
I love that so much.
But I looked at my time played on Puyo Puyo Tetris for me in the last week. Boy, man, I played a lot of Tetris.
Did you say 55 hours?
No, it's not. It's like 10 hours, but it was only at less than 1 hour before that, because I would just go back to the Game Boy version on my DS, right? So I've been playing on my Switch, and it's wow, I played a lot of Tetris the last week and a half.
I need to get back to the story mode of Puyo Puyo.
Yeah. So I've been playing that. I've been playing Hollow Knight, which again, I don't really know if I like it or not. I'm still I'm making my way through it. I'm having a hard time finding the guy that sells you the maps of the areas. And every time I'm wandering through, I end up finding a boss or something that I'm not supposed to be at yet. So I go back to, and I don't know the game well enough to be oh well, I'm here, so where do I go from here to get back to where I was, so I know to go the other way, so I'm just kind of exploring that world. It's a beautiful looking game. The combat's serviceable, the platforming's good, but I don't know if I like it or not yet. I think the guy that sells the maps is the worst part of this game, and we're gonna start doing a Let's Play show. It's just called Let's Play Nintendo, where we're playing games that are on Nintendo consoles. Similar to what Jesse's doing with his streams and the Arsenal X Let's Plays stuff. So I don't really know if I'm enjoying it yet or not. So but I got a couple games, physical copies this week, like Sonic Mania Plus. I got physically. I've been playing as one of the new characters, the black one with the red kind of slick back thing. I think it's the armadillo guy, but he's got that weird homing thing that Sonic has in the 3D games, and it actually works really well. To be honest with you, in a 2D space. But he can only do it when he can only do it towards the ground, which is weird. But I've been going back and replaying that game, and I don't know, I'm enjoying it a lot more this time around than I was the last time I was playing it. Sonic's just a weird anomaly. It's just weird. But I've gone back to a couple older games. I popped Zelda back in because I went back. I'm trying to I want to get back into Zelda, but I don't really feel like replaying the whole game. So I'm just running around the world and fighting giant monsters and using the monster parts to upgrade my suits and stuff, because I want to try to upgrade some of the suits, and so that's kind of what I've been doing there. But I only played it for 10 minutes today, just running around the world and collecting all the stuff that the shops have, because I have so many rupees I don't know what to do with. I also went back to Mario Odyssey today for some reason, and I was just running around the kingdoms looking for moons. I found 10 moons today in about 15 minutes. So
nice.
I went back to the man, I don't want to spoil anything, never mind, the last world that pops after the credits roll. So I went back there and was running around. You know what I'm talking about, Ed. So
yes,
I played a little bit of that. Played some Captain Toad. Played some Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, which is still probably one of the best games. I think that game is super underrated. It's really challenging, but it's really rewarding at the same time.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of it. I've been bouncing around between all those games. I played some on other consoles. Like I played some Destiny. Oh, the other thing on Switch I played was Doom. I was playing Doom because Ed and I recorded the Pod and Play episode for Doom this week.
That discussion we had, dude.
Yeah, and I was playing on Switch and like I don't like playing on the Joy-Cons, but I threw it up on the TV, and like it doesn't look as like. Man, you after playing it on my Xbox One X, like you really notice the dip in quality of the graphics, but like it's playing with the Pro Controller is a total serviceable way to play that game. Like it still feels really good, and like the way the movement works in that game, you don't really notice a frame rate dip because just how like the movement works. So, and that game is really fun, and if you have a Switch, you should just buy Doom because it's fun.
I just need to go buy Wolfenstein 2 for Switch.
Yeah, I still haven't played it yet. I need to, but that's what our new series are for. So, and then I played the Monster Hunter demo, and we already talked about that. So, and I played some Fortnite on Switch, which my little cousin started playing Fortnite. He's 8. And he is his first game of Fortnite was last night, and he's hooked. Like he's obsessed. So, yeah. So that's kind of all I've been playing. I popped Destiny on the other day to try to do some of the Solstice of Heroes stuff, but I'm like, I'm just gonna wait till the expansion comes out because none of this stuff's gonna matter in 2 weeks anyway. And so, like, why am I doing it? You know, like that's the feeling I had playing it.
Yeah.
And it sucks because like I want to do that stuff, but that stuff's just not gonna matter in a couple weeks, especially the way that I've been playing Destiny lately, and like I haven't really been chasing stuff. I just want to shoot stuff with my friends. So like,
yeah,
I still need to do the DLC.
Yeah, I gotta progress too quite a bit.
But I mean, Iron Banner's this week, but like they switched Iron Banner up again to where like you still don't really progress by doing it. Like you progress up to a certain point, but like it's really about just getting the armor set and not about progressing your light level, which is like, well, I already have the armor set I want from it, so like why would I continue playing? And like you get stuff for advancing your level in Iron Banner 2, but it's just like it's not worth it at this point. I'm just gonna wait till Forsaken comes out. Jesse will probably play through the campaign, and Ed like will record that stuff. But like, I don't know, man. It's just I need something else to do. So, let's see. There was something else I played too, but I don't remember. I don't know. Whatever.
Technomancer.
No, don't. No. Okay, so Ed and I did a pod and play on this game called the Technomancer. It is a very, very, very B tier is probably a little too good quality of a word for this game, but like it's basically a B tier Mass Effect style game, and like, it's on Game Pass. If you want a Mass Effect style game that is not as good as Mass Effect, to put it nicely, check it out. But like, we played that game, and like the combat stuff is really interesting. It's just like if they would have had a little bit of a budget to polish this game, it might have turned out good, right? There's a lot of great ideas in there that just don't quite come together. And boy, just walking in that game is rough. Like just walking from place to place is rough. You're better off just mashing the attack button to get places faster because, man. Anyways, that first big bug boss is kind of cool though. So, but anyways, that's going to be a pod and play episode, so you can check that out sometime. Let's see, episode 8, probably sometime in October, end of October. So, yeah, I think that's about it. But we're going to get in some of these news bits. But before we do, I do want to plug, Jesse's been doing some Let's Plays for Arsenal X, and Ed, I think you joined him for the Far Cry episode.
Yes.
So this week they're going up Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Also, we're starting a Let's Play Nintendo kind of Let's Play series where we're just kind of playing Nintendo games. It doesn't matter what system it's on. Probably mostly Switch stuff, but like I said, I hooked up my Wii U and got my Wii controllers out, and I got to hook up my GameCube, and so most of the N64 stuff I'd want to play is on my Virtual Console, so probably just play it there, but we're going to try to play some Nintendo games, so it's going to be easier to play NES and SNES games when Nintendo Switch Online comes out, though, because like I want Ed to play. I want to watch Ed play Castlevania, so I just want to pass him the controller, quote unquote.
Get ready for my Castlevania skills.
So also with other games that are all available on Switch, like the Mega Man collections.
I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, so we'll be playing a bunch of games soon. So, and then when Smash comes out, we're all gonna have like a 3-way battle. It's gonna be awesome. So
I'm gonna need Jason and Moose to get a copy of Matt, so we can do 16. So it could be Arsenal versus Power Block versus NGR versus Jesse YouTube versus let's see, NGR versus Power Block versus Arsenal X versus Nerds Go Platinum.
Wow. But anyways, let's get into some of this news. Probably the biggest news story that dropped this week, or last week, I guess, if you're hearing this, because we're recording a little bit early. Blizzard is bringing Diablo 3 to Switch this fall. We reported on this earlier this year when Blizzard tweeted out the light switch with the Diablo face on it that was clearly teasing this. So this comes from Game Informer. In what is clearly the best kept secret of all time, Blizzard has revealed Diablo 3, the 2012 loot and dungeon action first released on PC, is coming to Nintendo Switch later this year. This marks the first time Blizzard has worked with Nintendo since the Nintendo 64 version of StarCraft almost 18 years ago. The Nintendo Switch version of Diablo 3 contains all the content made for the game so far, like Reaper of Souls and Rise of the Necromancer expansions, all on one cart. The main game and the expansions are available from the moment you launch the title, giving you access to the entire suite of Diablo 3. There's also some Nintendo-specific content in the game for Switch fans hoping to check out the game for the first time. There's... wow, they didn't even tell you what the content was. So the content is the Legend of Ganondorf transmog set to make your character look like Ganondorf from the Legend of Zelda series. The multiplayer Diablo 3 is brought to Switch in full force, both local and online variations. Players can play with 2 players on one Switch, 4 players over wireless LAN using multiple Switches, and up to 4 players in online play. Also, a combination of all 3 of these ways to play can be used, which is also a nice little added bonus. Since it launches on Nintendo's proposed September date for paid online, Diablo 3 will be using that and supporting its cloud saves as well. So the game supports voice chat, but it will be handled through Nintendo Switch app, not through the system itself, which sucks because Fortnite does it through the system itself. So anyways, Nintendo cares deeply about games. Their love for video games is unmatched. Working with them has been great, says Blizzard senior producer Pete Stillwell. He's enjoying their renewed relationship. So no specific release date yet, but they are aiming for this fall. What do you guys think about Diablo finally hitting Switch?
I'm excited for it. I used to play Diablo when I would game on PC, back in the day, and then 3, when 3 got announced, I was kind of excited for it, but I just never really pulled the trigger on buying it, and just having it on Switch will be pretty cool. Having it, to be able to play on the go and stuff that kind of game would be awesome. Just to be able to kind of pick up whenever and just progress through it, stuff like that. So
yeah, plus Nintendo's giving us some stuff to play in Squad Goals.
Yeah.
So what about you, Ed? What are your feelings about this?
I I'm happy, but I'm kind of mad in a little bit at Blizzard because I'm mad at the fact that they're late supporting Nintendo in this kind of manner, and not because of Switch, but Diablo 3 came out for 360 and for PS3, so this game should have been on Wii U. Wii U would have been able to handle this game, and I feel like Blizzard just completely like missed it. But I'm glad that it is coming to Switch. I'm definitely gonna buy it. I love the fact that they have all of these options. I bet you when people go to BlizzCon next year and stuff, you're going to see more people with Switches playing this game. And maybe we'll probably see some esports stuff with this. I think it's really good. I know some people are kind of upset of why they didn't announce this at E3. Because
Blizzard is like the American version of Nintendo, where they want to control their own message.
Yeah, but I think people would have. I think people would have been. I think that like Fortnite, if that didn't get leaked, if Diablo 3 and Smash, if like all of threes got announced at E3, a lot of people would have felt like Nintendo would have like truly won E3 and stuff. But I'm glad that it's coming. Like it's definitely a must have for me. I'm definitely gonna be picking it up. Can't wait to play the game with you guys and with other people. I think Blizzard, and because everybody's now wondering where Overwatch come and stuff, and
that was my next question. Do you think that this is going to lead to some other stuff coming from Blizzard, like Overwatch, where, I mean, I know Overwatch is like this weird anomaly because like it's got to have the online infrastructure, and maybe Diablo is the way to test that out or whatever. And I know Overwatch is a much more graphically intensive game than Diablo is, but like Fortnite works. They made Paladins work, which is, I think, graphically similar to Overwatch. I think is fair to say.
I think it's too late for Overwatch coming to Switch.
See, like, I don't think it's too late. If they're bringing Diablo, you really think Overwatch is?
Yeah.
Where they support Blizzard supports their game, but Blizzard supports their games for years. Like they're still supporting StarCraft 2, which came out in 2010 at this point. Diablo 3. I mean, they're putting Diablo 3 2012. So,
but I think the thing about it is when you are talking about people at your own company playing Switch, that should have already been like, okay, we need to get in touch with Nintendo, because if our employees, and Blizzard's a big company, if like majority of your employees are coming in, and you seeing people saying that, hey, we hope that Overwatch come. Blizzard should have jumped on there. Yes, they want to control their content and stuff, but it's one of those things that you guys are too late with this. Like I think Overwatch is going to be not dead and done by the time it comes to Switch, but I think people are going to be moving on to other games, and there's going to be like other indies and Nintendo games that people are going to be very interested in. And if Overwatch come, that's just gonna be like, oh, okay, Overwatch is coming.
Well,
cool.
They
with
did,
Special Pride 4.
They did announce that Overwatch has like 50 million registered users now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of people, man. I mean, if you're still having like you're still peaking out at 2 or 3 million concurrents through the Blizzard launcher like daily, just on PC alone. That's a lot of players, man. Plus, like, I think. Oh, sorry, Jesse. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think part of the problem too with having, like, if I'm Blizzard and like looking at bringing Overwatch to the Switch, like, Nintendo doesn't even know what their own system is capable of when it comes to voice chat and stuff like that. There's just a lot of issues with like, because with that game being such an online, like driven game, like I just wonder if they just weren't sure whether it would work the way that it needs to work for, on the Switch. Like if Nintendo can, figure something out and try to like even if it means having to work with Epic, or like learn how to get like the voice chat to work through the system like you can do, through Fortnite, like, and that means that ultimately any game should be able to do that.
But
like,
you have to think about it. This is Japan. Once again, this is Japan versus America, and they would have to.
Yeah, but
Epic
is American,
right? And then I think like Epic would have to, like, people from Epic and other technicians from around the world would have to go to Japan and teach them, because Japan is such a big country that when it comes to online and stuff, it's mostly mobile gaming. That's why if you look at 3DS, when around that time, a lot of people was doing local play, because when you got on the train in Japan, everybody had a 3DS out to play. So online wasn't a big function in Japan. So when they're thinking about their state before they're thinking about the rest of the world, it's very different. Because see, we're thinking, when we think of Nintendo, we're thinking in an American sense. And Nintendo Japan doesn't. Nintendo Japan has a different reason for their, how they develop their systems and stuff and their functionality. Yeah. So they're thinking about their system selling in Japan, but they know that it was selling in America.
Yeah. So, but my point is though, is then you can't be upset about like games like Overwatch not going to there, because if it's not set up to support the game, then why put it there? Like that. Like that's what I'm trying to get at. Is like, Overwatch is kind of like Siege, where you've got to have communication, and if you're making it a hassle to have to be able to do that, what's the point?
But you got to think about that's why I said, why haven't Blizzard been working with Nintendo in the first place? Blizzard barely works with console players. They focus most of their business on PC. So if we're not expecting anything from Blizzard to come to Nintendo, because Blizzard doesn't work with Nintendo. So if Blizzard would have put a lot of their games on a Nintendo system the same time they put it on Sony and Microsoft, then they would have had a better relationship and have a better understanding of how to do their online functionality. But Blizzard doesn't do that.
Well, so, I mean, we'll see in the second half of September, and we'll see how Diablo does. Like, I mean, there could be potential for next year for the 5 year. When did Overwatch come out? 2015. I don't know.
Yeah, I think 2015.
I think I'm sure we'll revisit this story when Diablo comes out, and when if they feel like working with Nintendo on getting Overwatch or something else on there. But yeah, we'll see.
It's day one purchase for me still.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of Overwatch, I'm just going to read the story real quick since we're in this segue anyway. Overwatch for Nintendo Switch is feasible, according to Blizzard senior producer. This comes from Nintendo Life. With the Diablo III Eternal Collection now officially confirmed to be on Nintendo Switch this autumn, there's been much buzz about certain other Blizzard games that could eventually come. When asked by GameSpot if team-based multiplayer title Overwatch would ever make it to the Switch, Blizzard senior producer Pete Stillworth said it was, quote, feasible. His quote was, "Yes, it is feasible. Anything is within the realm of possibility. Our team was given the task to work on this. If Overwatch developer Team 4 picks up the endeavor, that's on them. As of right now, Diablo is our only focus on Switch." According to Kotaku earlier this week, at a meeting in San Francisco, Stillwell explained how Blizzard and Nintendo maintained a healthy relationship during the development of Diablo 3 on Switch, hopefully leading to more collaborations in the future. Without going beyond the Diablo port, I think it was good exploration into the platform and into the relationship with Nintendo that has been extremely positive, extremely healthy, and forward-thinking. So it is feasible. I think if they did put Overwatch on Switch, they would have to do what Fortnite did and just be able to have the headset plug into the system and play it. Nintendo Switch isn't really built for voice chat, like, you know, we've all said, especially because like there's no headphone jack on the bottom of the controller. There's no easy way to do it, right? You have to have a smart device app. You have to or play it in handheld with Fortnite. You know, it's not easy, but again, if I don't usually play with voice chat when I play Overwatch. I know that's the wrong way to play it, but like there are a lot of players that do that. There was another story that came out. Jesse, you mentioned Siege, and Ubisoft did confirm that Rainbow Six Siege will never be making it to the Switch because it is architecturally impossible, and just the way you need voice chat with that game, like, you know, it's going to be hard, but
there's no loss there. So sorry, Jesse, but there's no.
Well, yeah,
loss.
I wouldn't want to play it on the Switch anyways. Honestly, I'm gonna play it on a better system.
The
stronger system.
Nintendo players are not even looking for that because of the struggle that it even had on PS4 and Xbox One when the first came.
Yeah.
So, like,
I mean, I do think Blizzard is looking at the success of Fortnite and Paladins on Switch though, and are really, because Paladins, I think the voice chat works through the headset as well, like just straight into the port. So, I mean, if a smaller game like that can make it work, I do think Overwatch has a chance. Now, you know, they said if they were to, this was a separate interview, they said if they wanted to port to Switch, frame rate's going to take precedence over graphics, and there would need to be some graphical differences between the console versions and the Switch version, right? But I mean, that's every port at this point, right? So we'll see. I don't really want to spend too much longer on this topic since, you know, we've been talking about it for like 20 minutes, and there are other things I want to get to, especially our topic, because I think it'll be a fun topic, especially because I just listened to Nintendo Voice Chat today, and they had the same topic, even though like I was writing the topic as they were talking about it. So, but they did provide me with information that I needed that I didn't have to look up. So, anyways, Gone Home is coming to Switch. Speaking of games, old games coming to the system.
Oh, you mean Gone Home?
That's what I said. Is
You
that not
said
what I said?
God Home.
Gone Home?
God. It sounded like you said God Home. I'm
No.
like, oh.
No.
Got milk.
Got Milk. Got Milk is coming to Switch. No. We had that with 1-2 Switch. It was not fun. So Gone Home is coming to Switch. It's been half a decade since... Oh, this is from Game Informer. Sorry, guys. It has been half a decade since Gone Home came out, and but that hasn't stopped Fulbright from releasing it one more time. Now that the Nintendo Switch port is a port machine. Gone Home originally released to critical acclaim in 2013. Blah 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 blah. So it will be out August 23rd for $14.99. I'm a little concerned's not the right word, but puzzled why Gone Home would be the game they put here and not Tacoma, right? Because Tacoma's their newest game. And I don't know, I feel like everybody that's played Gone Home is going to play Gone Home, and this is just, I don't know.
They should only charge $3 for Gone Home. It's not, I'm sorry everybody, it's just not worth it. After playing it on Xbox One for free, not worth it. Not worth $15.
I mean, it's better than the, what, $25 it was when it launched, so.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Gone Home is a walking sim, and it's you're basically walking through this house to discover the story of you know, this family, and it takes place in the 90s, and if you like walking simulators, it's probably considered one of the better one of those, especially for its time. Now, better ones have come out since then, like I'm sure Firewatch and I don't know. I don't play walking sim, so I can't tell you, but I just know a lot of people really like this game. So I mean, if you want to check out a Let's Play or something, check out a YouTube video. But it was free on PlayStation and Xbox at one point or another. So chances are you might already own it on another system, but it's more weird to me that Tacoma wasn't the game that was ported to Switch. But anyways, Jesse, how do you feel about Gone Home? You kind of
I don't know. I got it. I think I played it for a little bit, but that's just not really my type of game.
Yeah.
In general, so
yeah.
Like my wife is more into that kind of stuff. Like even like she played a lot of those like games on the DS where you like, you know, you just touch and you got to search and find things and
adventure
more
games.
Of those. Yeah, that like that kind of stuff. Like that's more up her alley. But yeah, I don't know. There was one game, I can't think of the name of it right now, that's on Switch. Like I think it's like takes place in Canada or something like that. They just recently made like a VR version of the game that kind of looked interesting. That's on Switch, but I think that might be more of a first person type game, like more like Life is Strange type, but more, you know, like a lower, like a B game or something, like, you know, it's like an indie game that's not like super graphical or anything like that. But I can't remember what the name of it is, but but yeah, it's just that's not really my type of game, honestly.
Yeah. Well, if you guys are interested, you can check it out. If not, well, yeah. Anyways, going into our second to last story here. This comes from Nintendo Life. 2 games are getting limited physical releases. Sumo Digital Snake Pass is receiving a physical makeover on Switch. Also, Mutant Mudds Collection is also receiving the physical treatment. It's being released by Super Rare Games, and there are only 4,000 copies of each game, so they do go up for pre-order on Monday, so yesterday if you're listening to this. So hopefully, if you want one of these games, you can still treat yourself to a physical version, but it's pretty cool. I always like to see indie games get physical editions from these like, I know Nicholas, that company always does really cool indie versions, you know, and Limited Run Games has started doing Switch physical copies, which I might get the ukulele one if and when it's available, but if not, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, Limited Run, they sell out like real quick.
I know.
The day they pre-orders go up.
I know. So Super Rare Games is doing these 2 games, which is really cool. So Mutant Mudds is really fun, and I remember Snake Pass was a pretty unique platformer at the beginning of the Switch's life cycle. So, yeah.
I still never tried that. Did they have a demo for that game at all? Do you know?
I don't know.
I don't know. No, they did it.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I've always wanted to try it, but I just, you know, just didn't want to buy it and then, you know, and try it that way. I want to try, you know, just give it a try first before getting it, but because it seems like it would be a fun game. So
yeah. So, all right, our last story, and it actually segues into our topic of the show. This comes from IGN. New Super Mario Bros. U is reportedly coming to Switch, and it might feature all new content. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze have shown that Nintendo is more willing to flesh out Switch's library with Wii U ports. And if a new report is to be believed, the next Wii U game to make the jump could be New Super Mario Bros. U. Comic Book reports multiple sources who are purportedly linked with Nintendo have suggested that New Super Mario Bros. U will be updated and re-released for Switch as early as this year. According to the site's sources, Nintendo plans to package New Super Luigi U DLC with the Switch port. While the DLC and base game were originally released separately, they were later sold together as part of a Nintendo Select's budget line. Some of comic book sources also indicate the Switch port will come with some type of all new content packed in. If accurate, though, it's not clear what form this new content would take. The site also reports the rumored port could be dubbed New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. When Nintendo applied the same Deluxe moniker to Mario Kart 8 Switch port, it added new characters, items, vehicles, and even an entire new mode. It is worth mentioning Nintendo Life and Game Informer both reported that this site was also accurate in predicting... Where'd it go? They predicted something else similar to this last year. So, I mean, could happen, could not. But, I mean, I think a 2D Mario game is a good fit for the Switch. What do you guys think? I do think out of all the new Super Mario Brothers games, that the Wii U one is the best one. But it kind of sucks that we're not getting a new one.
I would have did a collection. Do the DS one, do the Wii version, and then the Wii U version. Like, put 4 games in one, and let that be the deluxe edition.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't want to do all the work to get the DS versions on there, at least do the Wii and the Wii U versions together.
Yeah.
They could have did like a Super Mario All Stars 2 or something like that.
Shoot.
Yeah.
If they do that, then I need Super Mario 3D World. Like, I need that to be on Switch.
Yeah. I'm all for it because I did play the Wii U, the new Mario a little bit, but I really haven't played it that much.
Yeah.
But we definitely need a good 2D Mario on the Switch. So
yeah. I wish I could find... Where did this article go?
I want a Super Mario Brothers 2 for the NES. I want that to be on Switch, like a remake for a player.
Man, I just...
Spider Wart.
Man, Wart. What a worthless villain.
You know what?
What, Ed? What?
You are right, because I was Princess Peach flying right over him, and when he opened up his mouth, I threw the vegetables behind his back to kill him.
He's not even a real character. He's all made up in Mario's head.
But yet the Shy Guys are in the universe.
That's the only game that Birdo's in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Birdo. Another worthless character.
But then he had his own game.
Birdo?
Yeah. Remember he had his own... he had Captain Rainbow or something?
Ed, I think you're making stuff up now.
No, Captain Rainbow was on Wii. It was in Japan. Yeah. Never came to America. And Birdo was in that game.
Yeah, because I remember seeing like the book art or whatever for that. So I just remember seeing it somewhere.
Yeah.
Just hitting Birdo with his egg in Super Mario Bros. 2. The animation. And, ooh!
Oh, that's funny that every time I hear Birdo, I always think there's that band that I listen to called Horse the Band. And they do that song called Birdo. They do a song about it. Because they're like a heavy metal or like a death metal, like an 8-bit death metal type thing, like where they do it's all Nintendo style 8-bit keyboard for all their music and stuff, and usually their music's themed around different Nintendo games and stuff. Or like they do the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme. They covered that, and they have a song called Pizza Knife.
Wow.
Exactly.
They're good. They're so good. It's hilarious.
Wow. Well, this story kind of leads into into the topic of the show, which is really interesting because at the beginning of the year we covered a bunch of rumored games coming to Switch, and about 65% of the games that were rumored have either been confirmed or have come out already. So there was something that leaked from Nintendo of Europe, and some of these documents cited games like South Park, Diablo, Pokemon Let's Go, Fortnite coming to Switch, and a lot of these games ended up coming out. So I'm gonna list the confirmed games that were on this document and the games that have either come out or are coming out that were confirmed on this document. South Park: The Stick of Truth, confirmed, coming to Switch this fall. South Park: The Fractured But Whole, out. Diablo 3, coming. Pokemon Let's Go, 2 versions. The document said Pokemon Yellow remakes, so 2 versions of Pokemon Yellow remake, so that would be Pokemon Let's Go. Fortnite, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Lego Incredibles, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, and Overcooked 2. Now, there are 6 other games, and Ed, you're going to be excited for one of these. I know you are, because it's something we've been talking about for a year and a half. So, there are some of these games we've talked about, some of them we haven't, some of them we just don't really care. But the other 6 games on this document were a Metroid Prime Trilogy HD.
Nice.
New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe. Lego Harry Potter Collection. Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Star Fox Grand Prix working title, which we heard about at E3, but it never came to fruition, right?
Right.
And Tomb Raider is on this list. Now, a lot of people think it's just the first version, or the first game that came out on 360 and later,
one in PS4.
But these, like, all these games are very feasible coming to Switch. I think the biggest outlier would be Tomb Raider on this list, but all these other games were leaked at the beginning of the year by Nintendo of Europe on documents. I wish I had the source in front of me. And this, like, Nintendo Voice Chat brought up this list too on their show, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll just make the list from you guys. Thanks. So, I mean, there's a lot to talk about here, and I know the Switch is becoming quote-unquote a port machine, but, like, I wouldn't mind having I wouldn't mind having these rumored games on Switch, right?
Yeah. Even though Switch is coming a port machine that people want to say it, it's making people recognize those games that didn't get the recognition when it was on the other systems, or even when they came to Steam.
Right.
So, like, people have been talking more and more and showcasing more of these games and stuff. So whether it's a port or not that comes to Switch, Nintendo's doing this job of, like, showing that these games are great to play, are good to own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, and not to mention, like, a lot of people liked having the PS Vita, and, like, the Switch is able to do what that wasn't able to do, and, like, have full, like, complete games, like console versions of games on the go, So, I mean, yeah, maybe they're older games, but still, like, where else are you going to play them on the go? Like, you can't play them on the go anywhere else. So, right. If you want to be able to do that, that this is a good opportunity to be able to do that now. So,
right. And, like, especially a series like Tomb Raider, which, Ed, we've talked about, has been super underrated and hasn't sold as much as, like, we think
Square
it
Enix
should.
Square Enix wasn't satisfied when it did, like, what, 2 million? Like, did 2 or 3 million?
No, it sold 6 million copies in its first, 3 months?
4
months? Something like
Square
that. And they were, like, disappointed that it didn't sell 10 million units. You're rebooting a franchise that, like, I mean, the Legend trilogy, I guess you would call it, like Legends Anniversary and Underworld, were okay games, but like people still had that sour taste in their mouth from everything from the last two PS1 games, the PS2 game, and then they rebooted it with Legend, which I like those games. I don't know how well they aged or not. They just became backwards compatible on Xbox One, but like I thought Legend was pretty good. I played it on GameCube, and then the Anniversary. I played on Wii, which was like really bad. The worst way to play that game. I don't know if those games hold up or not, but like you're rebooting a franchise that people still have sour tastes in their mouth from, because let's face it, anything before Legend, like either A, didn't age well, or B, just was flat out bad.
Everything on the PS2 era destroyed the Tomb Raider name.
Yeah, and for you to A, have a game get compared to a generally liked series in Uncharted and sell 6 million units of a rebooted franchise on a console that's on its way out because the new consoles are coming.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds pretty okay to me.
What was weird about that era about Tomb Raider is that they were mad at the sales of Tomb Raider, but happy with the sales of Sleeping Dogs, and then you
shut down the Sleeping Dogs studio.
Exactly, and like Sleeping Dogs was getting like 9s and A's and stuff. So it's kind of weird with Square Enix, because they say when they was talking about Shadow of the Tomb Raider coming to Switch, they say like that game is not coming. I don't know what Square Enix is going to be doing. If they decide to bring Tomb Raider to Switch, they're probably going to be testing the water, I should say. But I think Tomb Raider will do great on Switch, and it's going to sell, and everybody like, okay, now give us Rise of Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm. Well, you also forget Rise of the Tomb Raider came out on Xbox 360. Like that's where my cousin who didn't upgrade. He literally just got a PS4 last year. Like he played Rise of the Tomb Raider on 360 and loved it, right? And it's like, yeah, I forgot that those games are like still last gen games, like. So I mean,
it's more. It's
for me. I feel like
360.
They already said they have no plans for Shadow of the Tomb Raider coming, which I get it. That game, you look at that game, you're like, yeah, that game would take a lot of work to port down to Switch and whatever. But Square Enix is smart for doing that, because we was mad at EA when they just gave us Mass Effect 3 for Wii U when everybody wanted the trilogy, the best version of that game, by the way.
Right. So bring it Tomb Raider, and then bring in Rise of the Tomb Raider a little bit later. I would say 3 months after Tomb Raider, if they could do it.
You could just put them a year apart too, right? Like you could put them out like, what if you put it out in like June or July when there's barely any games coming out? You put out maybe you put out Tomb Raider this either in January. What if you put Tomb Raider out in January for Switch, right? The first one,
yeah,
and then you put Rise of the Tomb Raider out in July, when there's no games coming out.
No games, yeah, and you can make them digital. You don't have to wait for the 64.
Let's not get too hasty here. We want them physical copies.
But because of,
or you could do like a Resident Evil Revelations type situation where like maybe Rise comes on the cart and you get a code for the first game or something.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking of if they wanted to port that and they wanted to do a physical version, they would probably wait for the 64 gigabyte cartridge. I don't know how the 32 one would do. If they could fit it on the 32, then
I think you could fit the Xbox 360 version of Rise on a 32 gig. I think you could fit that on a 16.
Yeah, because those 360 games were surprisingly small.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up the file size for those actually real quick. But I mean, we've been talking about how much we love Tomb Raider anyway, and like, that's Shadow of the Tomb Raider is my most anticipated game this fall. I'm not gonna lie to you, like I cannot wait to play that game. And Jesse, I know you've been playing Rise of the Tomb Raider. Like, Those games are good. Those games are fantastic games.
And they deserve to sell more, get the recognition. And I think if they put them on Switch, that it would get that recognition. Because you got to think about it. Rise of the Tomb Raider was going against Fallout 4, and everybody was so hyped for Fallout 4, and they wanted to see Rise to fail because it was exclusive on Xbox One.
I need to go back and play the remake of the first Tomb Raider game, because I forget. Did they put humans that you shoot in that one?
From the regular Tomb Raider,
yeah,
the definitive version, yeah, you shoot humans. You're fighting a group who's trying to like that's on this island. They found some kind of treasure and stuff.
Cause see, that's why I was like kind of bummed like after the first Tomb Raider, or like as it progressed and like you started like shooting, like I just love that original Tomb Raider game where like all you're shooting are like animals that are trying to attack you, like as you're going through the caves and stuff like that. I don't know what it was about that, but I just like once they started like making your main people that you're shooting at humans, I just started to not really care for it quite as much.
I think because of the original Tomb Raider, the first and third, there was more adventure exploring and doing puzzles and stuff.
Yeah.
And this one kind of mixes both. They, mixing action, mixing the exploration and adventures and stuff like that. They were just trying to make it more linear and more focused than they were than the other ones.
Yeah.
So I have the file sizes here for Tomb Raider on Xbox 360. The Xbox 360 version of Tomb Raider, the first reboot, is 7.3 gigabytes.
Oh, okay.
And
that was close.
Rise of the Tomb Raider. Anybody want to guess how big Rise of the Tomb Raider was on the Xbox 360?
10.
Probably 14.
6.3 gigabytes.
Oh wow, it was even smaller.
Yeah.
So it must have had a lot. Best out of that one.
Yeah. Well,
they must have had a lot of like where they reused assets, maybe.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, those are pretty small file sizes. I mean, if you gave us 2 carts of that, like that would be like you're gonna need like 2 or 3 gigs for memory and stuff. But like that's still all that still fits on a cart, right? I mean, Zelda. Look at Zelda. That was 13 gigabytes. So on Switch. So I mean, and that fit on a 16 gig cart. So it would be really cool to get Tomb Raider.
Does it tell how much your dip was on the Xbox One?
I mean, I can find out. I just pulled up 360 games, but
360.
The Xbox One was, I think that was like probably like more closer to like 15 or 17 gigs, wasn't it?
Probably because the definitive version. Because the definitive version would make sense to put on Switch because it had the DLC and everything.
Yeah,
so
I mean, you would just put the Xbox 360 version got a quote unquote Game of the Year edition, which still had all the DLC and stuff.
Okay.
File sizes for Rise of the Tomb Raider. Let's see. Where is it at? Rise of the Tomb Raider.
But you also, you're just like looking online.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, because on yours it's probably bigger because it's in the Xbox One.
Yeah, this isn't right. Okay, so Rise of the Tomb Raider on Xbox One is the non Xbox One X version is 22.35 gigabytes.
Oh.
And then Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. Let me see.
Right, because they could do the Xbox One version for it because of the gigs. That would be fine.
I mean, I think that's just more of a RAM issue than a actual file size.
Actual file size.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. The 360 versions will be just fine.
This is just fun. I think if it just hopefully it just runs good, there's no crashes or stuff like that. People are not caring about the graphics and stuff because Rise of the Tomb Raider, even though 360 looked like real good, I don't think people will be
size
upset.
For Definitive Edition is 17.8 gigabytes.
So I think that one would be better than on Switch.
Yeah,
the Definitive. Yeah.
So I mean. Those games would be really awesome to see on Switch. I would play the crap out of both of them again.
And shoot, still, I would charge $40 for each, and I think people will pick it up and be like, "Oh, this game is on the Switch. Heck yeah, let's do this." I mean, you already got the multiplayer in Rise, so why not do local and online play?
Yeah, for sure. Let's go over some of these other games real quick before we get out of here. I know we've been running a little bit long. Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Probably next year, I'm sure. I mean, it just got delayed again so they could put the other two games on the disc because fans were freaking out. That is a little ridiculous, though. It's Spyro. It's not like it's freaking God of War, right?
Right.
It's freaking Spyro. Why don't you just put the games on the disc, man? I mean, I wasn't upset as like a big fan of Spyro. I'm just like, you're telling me you're going to charge $40 for a disc and only putting one game on the disc, and you have to download the other two.
Wait, what?
You didn't hear that?
No. I thought the whole trilogy was on the disc.
No, it's Spyro 1, and then you have to download an update, like a mandatory day one update, which downloads the other two games to your hard drive.
When did they announce this?
This was like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
And then they just delayed it. They delayed it to November this week, and a lot of people are like, well, it's because they're putting the other two games on the disc because fans were getting mad.
Wow.
Especially because the Crash trilogy, all 3 games were on the disc.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Spyro. Anybody care about Spyro on Switch?
No.
I don't care about any of those stupid PlayStation mascots from the 90s. None of them. Get them out of here.
All I need is Crash anyway.
Nobody needs Crash. Nobody needs Crash.
I do.
Man.
You don't need Crash. Trust me.
No,
even though 100%.
Well, I don't need it. I already
don't need it.
Lego Harry Potter collection.
That's a given.
Not really a surprise. I don't care about those games, but if you give me Lego Indiana Jones, I'll be all over it. But Star Fox Grand Prix. I was really excited for this game, and when it wasn't at E3, I was really disappointed. Like, just because all the rumors and people talking about it and stuff, I was like, that sounds like a really cool idea for a Star Fox game, and it just wasn't there.
No. Like I said, F-Zero would have been better. That would have been smart.
Ed, you know you're going to buy it anyway.
What's the next game?
And then the last 2 games are New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe and Metroid Prime Trilogy HD, which I think all 3 of us would be in for both of those. Man, I want to replay Metroid Prime again.
Yeah, I just want to be able to play it. Period.
They would have to They literally would have to redo that game.
They have the widescreen assets for all 3 games from the Wii version. They just have to up-res all the graphics and give it Pro Controller support.
What? No, Nintendo Retro. Well, Nintendo mostly because Retro. I need to start working on something else.
Where's Retro's new IP, please?
Okay. Nintendo going to add a lot of more detail. It's just not going to be an HD remaster. The heck they did with the Wind Waker, they're going to do with that Metroid.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be more of a Twilight Princess situation where they rebuild the assets they need to, and the rest of them are just going to get a shiny coat of paint because they're trying to spend time on Metroid Prime 4.
I mean, and trust me, the Metroid Prime alone, GameCube still looks beautiful, phenomenal to this day. So to see that like in HD, like a little bit clearer and tighten up the graphics, I just feel like they'll put more detail in it graphically, like add a little more plants right here and water effects and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would like to see Metroid Prime HD. It's a waiting game now, man. It's waiting.
Screw that. I want my Eternal Darkness remastered. That's what I want.
Yeah,
Jeez.
there's two collections that I really, really wanted for. That's one of them, and then now I'm just waiting for Pikmin.
Yeah, where's my Pikmin 4, man?
Where's
Or
the collection? At
Pikmin
least?
World, actually. That kind of surprises me that they haven't ported Pikmin 3 over yet, either.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about an underrated game, man. Pikmin 3 is great. Not the best Pikmin.
Yeah.
I still think Pikmin 1 is the best, but
Yeah.
I still think managing 3 characters instead of 1 is really, like, obtuse and unnecessary.
It's actually weird. A lot of people say 2 is the best. One is second, and then 3 is the third. Even though 3 looks beautiful graphically.
Oh my gosh, 3 is one of the best looking games on Wii U. I mean, if you want to see a high quality piece of fruit,
that's what everybody said was just like, if you really want to see HD like done right, look at Pikmin 3. They were just like, when Nintendo does HD, they do not play.
no.
I fear what they would do with 4K though. Ooh.
Yeah. Well, there's some rumors floating around that the Switch Pro will have dynamic 4K scaling, but I mean that's a topic for a different day. And I'm not gonna believe anything because like the way this thing is selling, if they put out another Switch like right now or like within the next year, they would be so stupid because that's just segmenting your audience.
Yes.
So I mean, I think the Switch. Who cares if it's underpowered? You're only playing Nintendo games on it anyway, right? Unless you are like us and just buy all the third-party games there anyway.
I think this generation is just not Nintendo games. Everybody is buying whatever comes to it.
What we were talking about, I don't remember if it was our last episode of POW Block or on NGR or something, but I just think the how things like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime have conditioned us to have convenience over quality.
Yeah.
I think is now crossing over into video games. And I think the Switch is the convenience of having it portably as opposed to 4K, 60 frames a second, whatever superpower console you own, right? And don't get me wrong, like I still prefer to play games like, you know, we were playing Rainbow Six. I would never play that game on Switch, right? It just something like, I mean, Destiny's a bad example because that would probably be the only game I would play on Switch.
But something like Rainbow Six is once again proven that people, I mean, and I think people will buy the game and play it there. It's one of those games that it surpasses all these developers and directors who keep saying, "Oh, our game would never run on Switch and wouldn't nobody buying it." And then you see everybody buying these games and talking about them. So it's one of the things that they might think that it would never run or don't do good, but if it's passing 250,000 players and people are continue talking about your game and marketing, because I'm not seeing nobody talking about Rainbow Six on PC, not PC, on One and PS4 like they would if it came to Switch.
Well, I think most of Rainbow Six's audience is on PC, right? I just think like more people have PCs. That game's on sale all the time on PC. But I still think that there's a pretty big console audience for that game. I just think it's one of those games like Minecraft. We never talk about Minecraft here, but you know how big the Minecraft community is. But that's just because it's just one of those games where like Rainbow Six players only play Rainbow Six, right? Or like the people that play the. You know what I'm saying? Like
any of that kind of stuff too. There's gonna be people who just play FIFA or just play Madden.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
the thing with Rainbow Six on Switch would be the first thing be like, can we do this crossplay with Xbox One and PC players?
Well,
because of Ubisoft,
that's where your issue comes in, because then you have to deal with frame rate and fidelity issues. Like, I don't think Rainbow Six has dedicated servers, so you're working on peer-to-peer networks, and like how does that work on a Fortnite? Fortnite has dedicated servers because they have to, right? And that's how this crossplay stuff. And so does Rocket League, and Minecraft. Like, those games have dedicated servers. If you go to a game that's peer-to-peer, that's going to be an issue, because that's where the Switch online infrastructure comes in, as being like, okay, did we build it right? Is it working? Like, that kind of stuff, you know?
But I think it would be, I think doing like a Rainbow Six Siege, I think a free to play method, like a demo,
Well,
would kind of work.
it's not coming to Switch, so like, I don't.
Well, yeah, but I think to test their online structure to see if it could be feasible or even work. I'm like, just even a demo for it, even though you'd be like, we're not really making the game, but we want to see if it works and learn from it. If these developers are not going to learn nothing if they don't put it on there and try.
Well, that's why you see games like, not necessarily in the same vein as a Rainbow Six, but that's why, like, Monster Hunter has a demo, Valkyria Chronicles has a demo. Like, there's so many demos coming to Switch and like, most of them allow you to carry your progress over. Look at Octopath. Like, you got to play the first 3 hours for free, and if you liked it, you bought the game, and your progress would carry over and stuff like that, right? And so, you know, whatever games end up coming over to Switch, you know, I think it would be a good idea to incorporate some kind of thing like that. So,
like, my big thing with Siege, though, like, is honestly, like, you've got to pay so much attention to detail in that game that, like, there's no way that you're gonna play that, like, decently in handheld mode. So what's the point of playing it then on that if you're going to have to play it in the dock anyways, and you might as well just play it on your Xbox?
Right, yeah. But everybody's going to be talking about the game, and when people go out, they're going to be playing it with their friends. You might not think that's going to happen, but if people are talking about your games more on Switch than they was talking about your games when it first came out on Xbox One and PS4, and I'm not even talking about the problems and stuff, but if people are talking about having fun on Switch and they're talking about it 3 or 4 months after its release, that's going to be the thing that's going to show Ubisoft, okay, people are still talking about our game. With a lot of games on Xbox One and PS4, and I even said this about God of War, is that they always sell good and get their talk in the first month, and maybe a few weeks after that, and then nothing about it until Black Friday. People are still talking about Doom, Wolfenstein, Hollow Knight, Shovel Knight. They're still talking about even Mario Kart DX. A game that was port. People are still talking about Breath of the Wild, and I think that if Ubisoft can really try to put Rainbow Six Siege, don't even worry about the technical stuff.
Well, they have to worry about technical stuff. That's the whole game, and like,
yeah.
I mean, and not to be mean or anything, but I don't know. I just don't know why we're still really having this conversation, because they did come out and say today that we are not trying to put this game on Switch. Like, they're just not, because it's technically impossible. So, like, I mean, it's one thing like Paladins and Fortnite, and, you know, maybe Overwatch at some point. Like, it's different than Siege, because, like, when we were playing today, it's like, it's so technical. Like, it's one of those games where the graphical fidelity matters, because you have to, like, be aware of so many things going on, and like Jesse said, like, you might as well not even try to put it in handheld mode, and at that point you might as well play it on a different system, because the frame rate and the technical things really matter. So, but I'm a person that be like, at least try. Just don't say you can't do it. At least try.
Well, but they're game developers. If they feel that they cannot make that game on Switch, then they know. But then
another company could prove that they can get it done.
Well, until that happens, there's no proof of that.
I mean, we're starting to run around in circles here. We're just gonna end it, because
it's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate all these people trying to put their games on Switch, like Doom and Wolfenstein. I think Panic Button has kind of proven their worth in all these, you know, with Rocket League and Iron Galaxy helping out with the Skyrim port, and I think these games, especially Bethesda, like really trying and having a good relationship with Nintendo, which is, speaking of someone like Blizzard, like Bethesda has never supported a Nintendo system, right? Before Switch. Like, when was what was the last Bethesda game on a Nintendo system, right? So, I think the popularity of the Switch and the bleeding over of the Netflix effect of like convenience of portability versus the technical part where Xbox One and PS4 succeed. Like, I think people like that, and to have Nintendo first party doesn't really hurt to have either. So, the Switch is a great device. I think we all love it, and I still have my Wii U hooked up over here again, finally, but like,
have my hooked up over there.
Not very many people bought the Wii U, which was sad. Like, which is a great console, and it's being proved by them re-releasing the games on Switch and them selling out, right? So,
yes.
I mean, I looked at my Wii U library and I looked at my Switch library, and I'm like, man, like 40% of this library looks awfully similar. So, and with, if Mario Maker and New Super Mario Brothers U ever come out for Switch,
goodness,
I'm just like,
Mario Maker is a done deal.
Yeah, I can't believe that game's not out yet. I think they're saving it, to be honest with you. I bet it's done somewhere, and they're waiting for next holiday to package it. Because, like, if you have something like Bayonetta, Pokemon, Mario Maker, Metroid Prime 4 as a holiday lineup,
yeah,
shoot, just take my money.
Take all my money.
Right. So, but anyways, I know we've run a little bit long, but we appreciate you guys sticking with us. Thank you guys so much for watching Nintendo Power Block. Remember, if you have a question for us, Question Block will be returning next week. So email us at nintendopowblock@gmail.com. I kind of feel like we're going to do every other week Question Block and every other week topic. I'm trying to not reconfigure the show, but get it more organized. So email us or tweet at us at NGRPowblock. Visit us on our website at ngrradio.com. Visit our YouTube page, subscribe, share, and remember, you can find Nintendo Power Block every Tuesday on your platform of choice, podcast service of choice, YouTube. Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode, and you also can hear my podcast, Optional Opinion, on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn. Also check out Arsenal X at NGR's Radio Xbox podcast here on Nerds Gone Rogue and at ngrradio.com every Wednesday.
Jesse, where can we find you? Where can we find your sweet beats?
On SoundCloud. Yeah, it's just, I think if you just search Jesse Douglas Phantom Maggot AX on there, you should be able to find it. I guess I'm not really too familiar, honestly, with how SoundCloud works. Like, I've used it a little bit, but I really, ultimately, other than just uploading stuff to it, I really don't know, like, my way around it, to be honest. And then also on Twitter, you can find me at Phantom Maggot AX.
You can find me at CorianHD86 on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on Nerds Gone Rogue and other content throughout the Nerds Gone Rogue. Wow, I didn't want to use Nerds Gone Rogue twice, but then I realized I had to. So, it's been a long night, guys. I'm really tired. It's like 6 hours past my bedtime. So, yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share to our YouTube page, even if you're an audio listener. And we'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.